How much money did you throw away last month in food you forgot you had? And I don't mean forgot on purpose, I mean it was in the back of the fridge, or behind something in the pantry, or in one of those deep dark cabinets where things go to die. And by the time you remembered it existed, it was done. That is not a problem. That is a kitchen design problem, and it has a name: object permanence. If your brain cannot see it, it does not exist. And most kitchens, most beautiful, expensive, well-intentioned kitchens, are designed in a way that fights your brain at every single turn. Today, I'm going to show you how to fix that, not with a deep clean, not with a label maker, with design. Real design decisions that change how your kitchen works, how it feels, what it does to your body, and honestly, how it treats the people who made it. Stay with me, because at the very end, I'm going to show you the one thing that costs almost nothing and that every single client tells me changed how they feel in their kitchen. And it's not what you think. I'm Deborah DeMare, 20 years designing luxury interiors exclusively with less toxic, non-animal-based furniture and decor. The kitchen is where I see the most dysfunction and the most transformation. Everything I'm about to show you, I use in real client projects. It's not theory, not sponsored, real decisions in real homes. The ADHD kitchen tax, why it matters. This is why. Okay. There is a tax that many with ADHD, or honestly most busy people, myself included, pay every single week in our kitchens. And nobody talks about it. It is the spinach that turned to liquid in the crisper drawer. It is the 3 half-used jars of the same pasta sauce because you forgot you had the other 2. It is the counter that was clean yesterday and is a doom pile today, and you genuinely do not know how it happened. We call this the ADHD kitchen tax. The money lost, the food wasted, the mental energy spent managing a space that is constantly working against you. And here's the thing I want you to hear. This is not a character flaw. It's bad matchmaking. Your kitchen was designed for a neurotypical brain that can remember what is behind a cabinet door, can tolerate a 5-step process to put something away, and can visually filter out clutter without effort. Most of us, myself included, cannot do all of that, and we should not have to. 1 in 5 people are neurodivergent. That means in almost every household, there is a brain working significantly harder than it needs to, just to function in the most used room in the home, the kitchen. And the kitchen design industry is almost entirely ignoring this. I am not, so let's get into it. The standard refrigerator layout is designed backwards for an ADHD brain. The things most likely to expire, fresh produce, prep proteins, leftovers, are hidden in opaque bottom drawers or pushed to the back of the shelves. The things that will really outlive us all: condiments, sodas, sealed jars, they get the prime real estate at eye level. We're flipping this entirely. Move your condiments and sealed jars into the crisper drawers. They do not need visibility. You will find the ketchup when you need it, I promise. Put everything live: fresh produce, prepped vegetables, proteins, leftovers, at eye level on the main shelves in clear containers where your brain can actually register that they exist. Now here is where my non-toxic designer brain comes in. Use glass bins, not plastic. From a health perspective, conventional plastic storage contains even BPA-free ones. They can leach plastic into food, especially with temperature changes. Glass does not do that. From an ADHD perspective, glass is also a visual invitation. When those bright strawberries are sitting eye level in clear glass, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine. The healthy choice becomes a visible one, and visible is everything. Same principle in the pantry. Deep shelves with stacked boxes and lids are just doom. Use open front bins, lazy Susans for oils and spices, so you can see everything with one spin, and pull-out drawers and side cabinets if you're doing a renovation. The one motion rule applies everywhere. If putting something away takes more than one motion, open a door, move a box, unscrew a lid, it is not going back where it belongs. Design for how people actually behave, not how you wish they would. And ethically, glass storage manufactured without toxic coatings from companies with transparent supply chains is better for the workers who make it and better for the planet and animals. Non-toxic living and ethical sourcing are the same decision. They are always safe. Let's talk about the doom surface. You know what I mean. The counter that started as a temporary spot for the mail, and then the keys, and then the thing you were going to deal with later, and now it is an archaeological dig of your last 3 weeks. Kitchen counters are the #1 doom surface in most homes because they have no designated purpose. They are everything surfaces. And an ADHD brain, which struggles with categorization and out-of-sight object permanence, uses the counter as an external hard drive. If it's important, it goes on the counter so you don't forget it. The problem is everything goes on the counter, so nothing gets found. And the visual chaos it creates is actively raising your cortisol stress level every time you walk into the room. The fix is not to tell yourself to keep it cleaner. The fix is a designated landing zone, one beautiful tray, one dedicated spot near the entry point of your kitchen for things that are truly in transit. Keys, mail, one thing you need tomorrow. If it's in the tray, it's contained and intentional. Everything else has a home somewhere else. Now, while we're talking about countertops, I want to flag something that most designers will not tell you. The material your counter is made from matters for your health, not just your aesthetic. Quartz is currently the most popular countertop material in luxury kitchens. It's also made from crystalline silica bound with petrochemical resins. Australia has moved to ban quartz fabrication for workers due to the silicosis risk, which is a deadly incurable lung disease caused by silica dust during cutting. California is moving towards similar restrictions, and those resins can interact with acidic foods over time on your counter, like lemon. The cleaner alternatives I specify is natural quartzite, not quartz, quartzite, which is 100% natural stone with no resins, or soapstone, which is antibacterial, non-porous, never needs sealing, and literally heals its own scratches, with mineral oil, and properly finished butcher block, solid, hardwood, food-safe glue, pure tung oil finish, warm, organic, genuinely beautiful, and completely non-toxic. The counter your brain calms down around and the counter that is safe to cook on are the same counter. That's always the goal. Ever go to the kitchen for a spoon? You see a dirty dish, you start the dishwasher, then forget why you were in there? We call that side questing. It happens because most kitchens require your brain to make too many decisions just to complete a simple task. And an ADHD executive function system that is already working at capacity will find a way to abandon the mission every single time. The solution is what I call the one motion kitchen, which I mentioned before. Every item you use daily should be reachable in one motion. No lids to unscrew, no doors to open, and then move a box behind, no walking to the other side of the kitchen for the thing you need right next to the thing you just picked up. Point of performance zones. You store things exactly where the action happens. Coffee station, mugs, coffee, spoons, all within 12 inches of the machine. The smoothie area, protein, seeds, blender, all together. The cooking zones, oils, spices, utensils, all within reach of the stove. No side questing. No executive function detours. The kitchen island in every project I do now is a second working kitchen, concealed inside the kitchen. Drawer dishwashers, deep pull-out storage, organized by function. The island used to hold like a kiwi fruit bowl. Now it holds everything and it shows nothing. Beautifully hidden. One motion to access all of it. For cabinetry, floor-to-ceiling closed storage wins every time over open shelving for an ADHD brain. Open shelves look gorgeous in a showroom. In a real kitchen, they are a running to-do list your brain cannot turn off. Every visible jar, every cracked, statched dish is demanding a tiny piece of your attention all day, every day. Closed cabinetry with interior pullouts and lighting inside the cabinet so you can actually see what you have without hunting. That's the design that gives your brain permission to rest. And here is something your cabinet supplier will never volunteer. Most conventional cabinetry, even beautiful, expensive cabinetry, is made with glues that contain formaldehyde. That formaldehyde off-gasses into your kitchen air. You cannot smell it, you cannot see it, but it is there, especially in a new kitchen or a freshly renovated one. There are 2 certifications that tell you the cabinets are safe. The first is CARB Phase 2, that stands for California Air Resources Board. And it is the US standard that limits how much formaldehyde a cabinet can emit. The second is NAF, no added formaldehyde, which is exactly what it sounds like. No formaldehyde used at all, and that's the better option. One question to your cabinet maker. Do these cabinets have CARB Phase 2 or NAF certification? That's all it takes. If they can't answer it, then that's your answer. And this matters not just for the air your family breathes at home, but for the workers who cut and assemble those cabinets every single day. One question and everyone wins. I want to tell you why you felt so good looking at that kitchen you saw on Instagram last week. You know, the one with the warm wood and the soft lighting that made you stop scrolling. It wasn't just that it was beautiful. Your nervous system was responding to something very specific. After years of cold gray kitchens, white marble, gray cabinetry, stainless everything, clients are coming back to warmth. Soft, natural wood, grain finishes, earthy organic tones, materials that reference the natural world. This is called biophilic design, and it is not a trend. It is a neuroscience, and it is something I promote in all of my projects. Do you know that brain imaging studies show that natural environments reduce activation in the amygdala? That's your brain's threat detection center. Natural materials, warm tones, wood grain patterns signal safety to your nervous system at a level that happens before conscious thought. Your body responds before your brain has a single opinion about the space. Cortisol, your stress hormone, drops. Blood pressure drops. Attention restores. For an ADHD brain specifically, this matters even more. A kitchen with cold, industrial surfaces, harsh contrast, and visual complexity, it's a kitchen that keeps the nervous system in alert mode. A kitchen with warm, natural materials, organic textures, and visual calm is a kitchen where the brain can actually settle, where cooking feels like something you want to do rather than something you have to perform. And here's the ethical layer that I always come back to. Every material in your kitchen came from somewhere, and it was made by someone. The shift towards natural, certified materials, toward wood with sustainable sourcing certifications, toward stone without toxic resins, toward finishes with transparent chemistry, that's better for the person living in the home, and better for the person who built it, and for animals, and for the planet. I require certification and supply chain transparency from every supplier I work with. That decision matters for many things, for my clients, for workers, and really all living beings. Beautiful and ethical don't have to compete with one another. I promised you the one thing that costs almost nothing and that every client tells me changed how they feel in their kitchen more than anything else. Here it is. Lighting, specifically getting rid of the big overhead light as your primary source. Bright, cool overhead lighting activates what's called your sympathetic nervous system. It literally puts your brain into high-speed performance mode, alert, vigilant, working. For a sensory sensitive brain, and most ADHD brains are sensory sensitive, a harshly lit kitchen is a kitchen your body wants to leave even when you cannot articulate why. What I replace it with? Warm under cabinet LEDs as the primary task light. A small warm lamp on the counter or the island, and pendant lights over the island, tuned to 2700 Kelvin or lower. They're on the warm amber end of the spectrum, not the cool blue-white heat that makes your kitchen feel like a hospital. Clients tell me they cook more after we change the lighting. They clean more willingly. They linger in the kitchen just being there, which was really never something they did before. Not because we renovated, not because we reorganized, because we changed the light. If you're someone who avoids your kitchen and you have never been able to figure out why, before the organization system, before the new appliances, before anything else, change the light. LED strips are inexpensive and easy to install, and it will tell your nervous system that the kitchen is a place to rest in, not just to perform in. And if you have ADHD, the dopamine hit of a warm, beautiful, intentionally lit kitchen is real. Your brain will want to be in a space that feels good. Use that. Design your kitchen to feel like somewhere you want to be, and you will use it more, waste less, stress less, and eat better. That is not theory. That is what I watch happen in project after project. Remember the ADHD kitchen tax I mentioned at the beginning? The food waste, the doom piles, the shame cycle of clean, then chaos, then clean again? Here's what I want you to take away from today. That tax is not your fault. It is a design failure. Your kitchen was built for a brain that is not your brain. And the fix is not more discipline or better habits. The fix is a kitchen designed around how you actually function. Glass storage at eye level so your brain can see what exists. One motion access to everything you use daily. A landing zone for things in transit so your counter can breathe. Non-toxic surfaces that do not off-gas into the air your family breathes. Materials that signal safety to your nervous system. And lighting that makes the whole space feel like somewhere you want to be. That kitchen, the one that supports your brain, protects your health, and was made by people who were treated fairly and to protect wildlife and the planet, is also the most beautiful kitchen I know how to design. Because when everything is working the way it should be, it always looks right. That is what good design does. If you want to know exactly some of the products I recommend for your kitchen, my Amazon storefront is linked below. Things I get for real projects, nothing sponsored, nothing I wouldn't put in my own home. And please tell me in the comments, What is the one thing in your kitchen that is driving you the most crazy? I read every single one, and I will tell you exactly how I would fix it.